So, hello and welcome to this latest of the Business Spotlight interview series. I'm delighted this afternoon to be joined by Jonathan Barker from Bay Distilleries, based in Morecambe Bay. Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm very good, Rob. You?
Excellent. I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Good to meet you, and looking forward to finding more about yourself and the business that you've got, operating. So, with that in mind, could you just give us a bit of background, on the business itself and yourself, how long, and how you got involved with what you've done, what you're doing?
Okay, well, our brands were created during lockdown. So I was in brewing and hospitality before that.
Right,
And obviously the world stopped. And my business partner, Chris, is a chemical engineer. So he was plowing on through regardless.
right.
But we've been friends for ages and we just decided, would it be a good idea? Could we work together? And turns out we both like gin. And turns out we kind of have made it work. So we've been trading since April 21 when pubs
Okay.
could basically reopen after
Hmm.
after lockdown. Yeah, so 2.5 years of trading so far.
Okay. And how's it gone so far in terms of your expectations and how things are panning out?
Well, if you discount all the, cost of living, war in Ukraine,
Mm.
all the rubbish going on in the world at the moment, look, we're trading profitably. We're in a number of outlets now in Cumbria, North Lancashire, Yorkshire,
Hmm.
a few distributors, and we're just developing our online presence. So, we've got 7 flavors of gin,
Right.
all of which trade under the Stormy Bay banner. So they're all
Okay.
called that. There's a flavor underneath. And yeah, they seem to be going down well and sticking in most places that where we introduce it.
Brilliant. And obviously, the gym market's seen a huge, growth over the last probably maybe 5 or 10 years. Maybe it just becomes
Yeah.
would that be a kind of, yeah. So how obviously coming to that market maybe a little bit later, um, how have you found, finding a proposition and a place in that market for your
Well, I
product?
think there's a number of ways to answer that. I think the gin market, as you rightly say, is very, very big and it's
Hmm.
dominated by 2 players, really, but who are kind of international.
Yeah.
But there's always space for new brands. It's a multi-billion-pound market, so
Mm.
it's not like we're not reinventing the wheel in terms of the principle. It's gin, but the way we produce and our kind of core values are maybe a little bit different to a lot of producers.
Hmm. Okay. And what do you think makes you stand out from the other producers in your sector?
Well, first of all, we're a small batch, so we distill in a small converted piggery on my business partner's property on Chris's
Right.
property.
Okay.
So we are still classed, I guess, as a startup because we're still there. We're trying
Hmm.
to grow and get to capacity. Then we'll have to relocate. Um, all the gins are made to individual recipes, so we don't
Right.
have one base and then add, syrups or anything what I'd call artificial. We
Hmm.
do everything from scratch. The botanicals are natural, and we actually use fresh fruit. So those are, I wouldn't say USPs, but they're getting there because there are
Mm.
other producers that do that, but a lot don't.
Okay. Excellent. And was that part of the ethos that when you first started, that was kind of really crucial for you in terms of when you started creating the brand
Yeah.
initially?
Well, we created our recipes on a very small still, which is basically a giant kettle, to be honest.
Right.
Um, so we had a lot of fun during lockdown. I think we had about 80 odd recipes
Right. Okay.
before we arrived at the ones we were happy with.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I'm very keen on being authentic and
Mm.
sticking to, your principles.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
it's very easy to cut corners to try and make a quick buck, but at the end of the
Mm.
day, we're trying to build a brand, and a brand
Yeah.
that have values and consistency.
Cool. And you've got a nice mixture, obviously, your experience in the business side of the world, and then
Mm.
Chris's obviously technical expertise, I guess, is a nice balance. Works
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Chris does the distilling.
Mm.
It's just it makes it look quite easy, to be honest. I'm sure it's not
Right.
really, but hey ho.
No.
And I go out and see customers and bring in new business and do tastings and that kind of thing.
Cool. Excellent. And so, is this the first time you owned your own business? Were you working for businesses before, or what was the situation before you started
I
this
was in,
company?
well, I was in brewing and hospitality, so I
Yeah.
was Yeah, I've done a load of different roles within that sector.
Hmm.
So I know a lot of people within that sector,
Right.
but I've never produced a spirit before.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so but I'm not a qualified brewer. I'll just caveat that straight away. I know how to do it, but I couldn't do it if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it was mainly pubs actually was my background.
Right.
So operational side of running pubs. And that was fun, and I could see
Yep.
how new brands could get into that market, and then
Mm.
support needed to be offered to make a success of it.
Sure.
So yeah, so when I go out and speak to hoteliers and groups and stuff, I walk the walk, so I know the issues they deal with because I've done
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
helps break the ice, shall we
Yeah.
say? Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. And how about, so when you've obviously transitioned into running your own, owning and running your own business, how have you found that that journey and for the last couple of years so far?
Different in the sense that when you're starting something, you have to know how to do everything.
Hmm.
So you can't go pick up the phone and go, "Excuse me, mate, can you sort that out for me?" No, you kind of got to muddle your way through a bit
Yeah. Yeah.
until you get to a size where you kind of can either employ or outsource something.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, you've got to be a good juggler and
Hmm.
master as much as you can be when you're starting something up.
Sure. And what have you enjoyed most about being your own, being a business owner for the last couple of years?
I think it's quite liberating, actually.
Okay.
Challenging because the buck stops with you and all
Mm.
that, but being able to plow your own furrow and take a
Mm.
business in a way that you don't have to kind of the only people we consult with are ourselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not like 20 people or a committee.
Mm.
I think that just strangles ideas at birth, quite frankly. So no, it's good just being the two of us because we can very quickly either agree or disagree, and then fine, move
Mm.
on to the next thing. You know,
Okay.
so we don't procrastinate.
No.
Yeah.
So quick decisions, being able to make those decisions quickly, efficiently, and just get on and do things is, what coming from sometimes in the corporate world that, like you say, it can be a little bit of a can hamstring you, can't it, in terms of stopping create, those creative juices flowing and getting things done and really feeling like you're moving things forward. So yeah, no,
Well,
interesting.
yeah, I think also though big decisions need time and consideration.
Mm.
Like introducing new products and so on. So
Mm.
we are always innovating in terms of new flavors,
Hmm.
new directions, and kind of new spirits and drinks that we'd like to have a go at in the future.
Hmm. Cool.
Because gin is a very enjoyable drink for millions of people.
Mm.
There are equally millions of people who don't drink gin, for whom there's products that we could maybe produce.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So you're looking to diversify the product range and
Yeah,
open up
we will.
different markets for you as well. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, we will do.
So how much time would you spend on that kind of innovation versus obviously the business development side of it, would you
Well,
say?
business development is by far and away the largest proportion
Yeah.
of time as we speak now. But we usually find like January is a much quieter time
Right.
in certainly in hospitality it is.
Mm.
So that gives us some time to kind of spend more time on product innovation,
Mm.
research, and that kind of thing,
Sure.
and I'd just having a little play. What can we make?
Hmm.
What's out there? You know, because there's a load of generation, the younger generation, who have different tastes to say my generation. You
Sure.
know, so we can't rely just on people of my age or even older to consume our current products.
Mm.
Got to be looking at well, what does that group of people like, or
Yeah,
that
yeah.
demographic like.
Excellent. Cool. And so looking ahead, over the next couple of years, what do you feel, or what do you feel are the biggest challenges you're going to be facing when it comes to growing the business?
Ooh, good questions. Okay, I think there's probably two main areas. One is that the younger generation, I say younger, so I've got my oldest is 19. Her
Right.
so to 25, they're not drinking as much alcohol as
Okay.
as,
Interesting.
as my generation. Or they're favouring like low or no alcohol alternatives.
Right. Okay.
So that's definitely something on the radar
Right.
because you kind of don't recognise that, then you probably got your head in the sand, to be honest.
Right.
And the other one would be alcohol duty,
Right.
because the government have flogged the alcohol industry and the hospitality industry to death, to be blunt.
Right.
So there's a point at which the consumer just won't pay for a product because it's too expensive, because to take a disproportionate share.
Yeah.
So I'd say those are the two biggest
Okay.
things to be aware of. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And it just their cost base is going to, that's obviously a big challenge for you to keep the cost in line with what how you position the brand as well, I suppose, and the competition. Is it harder for small businesses like yourself to obviously compete on price, maybe with the bigger players? Is that a challenge for you?
Well, I think we wouldn't wish to compete on price with bigger players, simply because I'm going to say this: our brand is very good.
Yeah.
We're not cheap, but we're not very expensive either. So we're
Okay.
kind of what I'd call everyday special. That's where I'm
Yeah.
positioned. And we're in an area which has got a lot of loyal customers who support our businesses, for who recognise quality over how cheap something is.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
there's no point making something and making very, very little on it. We've got limited capacity. There's just no point. But what we do try to ensure we are competitive in the segment with the market we occupy.
Cool. No, absolutely. I think value is different for everyone, isn't it? And ultimately, you're building a brand, and the brand obviously then derives the value from it as well, doesn't it? So, if you can create that, like you say, the quality that you clearly have and go after, then that allows you to pitch it at the right level to make it a commercial, profitable enterprise, right? Which is what we're looking to achieve with any business as we set up. So,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. And then obviously I know it's just yourself and Chris at the moment, but as you're looking to grow, as you mentioned, and maybe build the business up, if you start bringing people into the business, what kind of, and based on your previous experience, what kind of qualities would you look for in individuals, when you do look to recruit people in?
Now that's a really good question. Well, the first point we ever make is going to be the most crucial one, because it's just the two of us, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be, I would say, honesty and integrity, sense of humour, interpersonal skills, work ethic, tenacity, and I'd say that would probably encapsulate it. I'm not bothered if somebody's got acres of qualifications. It probably means they spend too much time doing qualifications rather than real life.
Yeah.
So no, I'd go for personality.
Yeah.
Very definitely.
So values that you hold dear to yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think any business owner, a lot of people, they do say that, and it's then going out and ensuring that that's what they do recruit to as well, isn't it? Because sometimes the skill set, they might go over the skill set rather than the values and the behaviour and stuff like that. And ultimately, like you say, you can train skill, but values are almost critical in building that team and culture within any kind of organization. So no, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And then looking at those couple of years that you've had as a business owner, what would you say your biggest learning has been?
That you have to be good at everything, or as best as you can be at everything.
Right. Okay.
Because the buck stops with you. I would say probably, what else have I learned? I've definitely learned that I don't take myself too seriously, because you can't.
Right.
Yeah. You can come across as a bit standoffish if you do. So no, I don't. I have three daughters. Of course, I can't take myself too seriously. Yeah. The other thing I've learned is that my gut instinct is usually right about people, and you can overanalyze sometimes.
Yeah.
And usually your gut it's right most of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So through experience and just like you go as you go through life, you realise that a lot of the time exactly that your gut feeling was always right. When you look back, you're like, I thought that was the case, kind of thing. So for sure.
Yeah, and if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right.
Yeah. Yes, a very, very good adage to keep keep true to yourself in that sense as well, because yeah, so much can, just simple things like that can make a big difference when you think about it.
I think you've also got to be prepared
Overcomplicated.
you've got to be prepared to change direction as well. Just because you've got a plan doesn't mean to say, well, we're going to plow on regardless, even if the plan isn't working. You've got to be flexible and just go, hey, that hasn't worked, so we've got to do something different. I remember reading something from was it Mike Tyson, who said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
it all changes, doesn't it, when something doesn't
yeah.
quite go how you originally envisaged.
No, and I think the challenge for a lot of business owners can be that they're fixated on what they initially started up with, and they think that they continue and continue because they still think that's the right thing to do. When all the evidence is staring in their face, that the emotion takes over from the logical, and sometimes it's great that you can be passionate about something, but you can also be objective about it as well, and make sure that when you see the evidence that something isn't quite working, that you can, as you say, flex it or adapt it or pivot and go where the evidence is kind of leading you to make the right commercial decisions. Dragon's Den's a classic case of people who believe in their product so much but just won't accept what the evidence is telling them, right? So
you're right. No, you're right. That's exactly. You've got to be prepared to listen and be prepared to admit when you're wrong.
Yeah, no, 100%. Cool. And so obviously you said you read some Mike Tyson. Right? What other individuals or books or anything else inspires you or is inspiring you at the moment?
Ooh, that's a very, very big question. So I listen to quite a few podcasts actually.
Right.
So
Okay.
at the moment, I'm listening to Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. I'm not plugging it, by the way, but it's good. He's got some good people on there.
He does this.
Maybe 3 people, and they're all sports people, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because of maybe the way they've kind of thought around a problem to make something better.
Okay.
So the first one I would go with is Roger Bannister.
Right.
Because until he did it, nobody thought it was possible.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The pioneer. Absolutely.
Yeah, pioneer. Absolutely. Yeah. Next one would be Dick Fosbury, who invented the Fosbury flop.
Yeah.
Until him, no one was going anywhere over that height, were they?
No, they're all going forwards, not backwards.
Change the technique, and you can just you can go further.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And then the last one, if you're a cricket fan, I don't know if you are or not.
I am a cricket fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Stokes, Headingley, 2019.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
Says it all. Yeah. That's tenacity.
Yeah. Well, I mean that, and I mean the same year, the 29th, the World Cup as well, in terms of
absolutely
taking, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous how good. I mean,
how has he done that? But he did it.
Showing my age as well, both of them in 81. That kind of similar kind of the comparisons.
It's iconic.
Yeah, and it would go down in history. Everyone will know Headingley 2019 was Stokes's. Yeah, unbelievable, absolutely. But yeah, no, and especially I guess his story of he's obviously had some challenge, prior to that, and what happened with the getting arrested and all that kind of thing, and to come back and because he was being castigated, as unfortunately a lot of sports stars do.
They do.
Without knowing but yeah, no, really great inspirational stuff there from people. So if they don't know about it, and they're not even if they're not big cricket fans, the excitement of watching that last day is gets the emotion going for sure. Perfect. Thank you very much. Great. So yeah, no, it's been great to chat and some really great insights into what you're doing and what you're achieving, and well done so far on building the brand over the last couple of years. And be really excited to see how you take it forward over the next few years, and build the brand up. Maybe I guess taking it national at some point is obviously part of the plan, is it?
Yeah, but there are some sectors I'm really not that bothered about being in, to be honest, because I think I don't want to be competing on price. I refuse to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there's plenty of areas we can grow.
Yeah.
We will be looking at exporting as well.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're one country. There's 200 more, isn't there? So
yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
Am I allowed to show you one of the products on this?
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so this one, I don't know if you can see it properly. This is our This is our dry gin. This is our biggest selling one.
Okay.
And we've just got a great taste award for that.
Oh, fantastic. Well done.
The first time we entered it, and some really, really positive compliments around the flavour profile, the aroma, and the botanicals. And they must have been good at this because we didn't tell them what botanicals were in it, and they got every single one.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I know it's kind of, they knew what they were talking about when they did it. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Deserved. Thank you. Yeah, no, and so if people want to find out more, or obviously buy, look, and find out more about the business, the brand, and obviously if they want to buy some gin, where would they best, where's the best place to go?
We have an online shop.
Okay.
So it's at obviously www.baydistilleries.co.uk. So there's an online shop there.
Yep.
If you kind of in our particular area, North Lancashire, Cumbria, plenty of farm shops have it for retail.
Right. Okay.
And there's our brand sells well in pubs with really good food.
Right.
Kind of complements each other.
Yeah, I had a look at your website and saw a number of hotels and restaurants in the Lancaster and Morecambe and South Lakes area. So
yeah,
with some nice places to eat as well. So fantastic.
Okay.
Brilliant. All right. Well, again, thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your time, and good luck with the future for Bay Distilleries.
Thank you very much, Rob. Take care.
Cheers. And you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.